Hey, welcome to the process. My name is Dr. John Bush. This is a continuation of my touch metrics at the weekly level, looking at the team positions here. Again, tie-breaking kind of situation. Use the data as it helps you. This is my beta test here. Probably maybe first of two or three, who knows. Anyway, let's continue. You need to watch part one. Let's see, what's next? Here we go. So this is a checklist. Long story short, using simple colors. Green is the best, red is the worst, no color is in the middle. You can look at each team and how they distribute by usage by my metrics, which I've defined previously, part one. And you can go through and see what's what. So, again, this is overall. This is not necessarily individual, but it does give you some insights, right, into what a team is doing or not doing with the various positions. So I'll try to have this as a hard copy on the Science Fantasy Football website. You can check it out. Here is the RB, and you can see Tennessee is number one, and it's probably not surprising. They had Henry. Right behind them was Denver. That may be a little surprising to people. If you can crack the Denver riddle, there's a lot of discussion about who will take charge by the end of the season. A little bit of smoke there. And I think Tennessee this year with Pollard and Spears is controversial. Can I say that? Yeah. So breaking some of those ties, picking out the bargains here, but this is what's going on. Pittsburgh, number 3, Carolina, 4, Seattle. Kenneth Walker's kind of quietly flowing under the radar. Be aware of that. Might be an interesting pickup for later. The Jets, of course, with Breece Hall being what? Is he number 2 now? Atlanta, number next, so that has Bijan right there. New England is another one with Ramondre Stevenson sitting out there. Might be something interesting. Tampa Bay with Rashid White is good. The next group are the mid and then the bottom. Notice Miami's down there. A lot of people taking A-Chain and Mostert and things. Just be aware that they, with Tyreek Hill and whatnot, I think the opportunities were less used than you might have come away with, your opinion. Philly's another one. They moved pieces around this year. Is that where Henry ended up or Swift? I forgot. Anyway, they're trying to make a change in Philly. Arizona with Connor. Love Connor, but I really wish they would find somebody else with Connor so we could have a nice handcuff. It's a little risky down there. Dallas, more changes. Concerned about Dallas there. Houston, another one that there's some concern about the pieces. Baltimore, Washington, Buffalo, and Minnesota, the last. So how would I use this data? I think I would use this to send up a warning about some of the negative teams and be how can I say this? Be of the mindset in the positive teams that is it too good to be true? You know, just basically fact checking what you believe and think versus what the metrics are telling you. I do know, looking at the differences, that a lot of the positive teams also had positive differences and increases. So be aware the only one that was down was Denver a little bit. Notice the bottom teams, a lot of those were negative in 2023. So just kind of be aware of that situation a little bit on the differences. I mean, if you look at about midpoint in the league up, there's only 2 negative, maybe 3 or 4 negative teams. Most of them are positive. So that kind of gives you some insight about the RB a little bit. Tight end, Baltimore. Love Andrews this year. Continue to love it. There's nothing that says Baltimore won't love their tight end. There was a decrease, so that's the only thing. I think he's going a little bit later was some of that, but I think he had some injuries. KC with Kelsey's right there at 1 or 2. Not surprising. Trey McBride really got some love last year, and Arizona was good. Cleveland, Njoku, don't forget him. Ingram, Hawkinson if he comes back, Komet. You might have an opportunity late in the Giants, and then Johnson in New Orleans. That's all positive. The negatives are Cincinnati, Rams, Tennessee, Carolina, Denver, Indianapolis, Rams, Miami, Seattle are all on the downside last year. So be cautious about who you are picking up. I do know some of the negative teams. For instance, Indiana, Jelani Woods was injured and really didn't get to shine. Denver, Docious, I think the same thing. So just, you know, one data stream never tells the whole story, right? It's kind of almost, what am I missing here by looking at this? So think about that a little bit on the tight end. Wide receiver, Miami number 1. Houston, the whole thing with Houston, got a lot of mouths to feed. That, even though it's a positive, everything says go. Okay, are all 3 going to be alphas? Dell, Collins, Diggs? It's just hard to imagine somebody's not the odd fish out there, and I think there's a little bit of risk. Washington, Scary Terry, probably solid. Buffalo, I think with Diggs gone, that's a lot of people are assuming that there's opportunities there. I don't know if we'll see another Diggs alpha there or not. I'm a little concerned there. Raiders, Deontay Adams, Cincinnati, Chase, Indianapolis, Pittman, Rams, of course, Puka, Cup, Chargers, Allen's gone, so we'll see how the Chargers fare. Negatives are Denver, not sure they know who their alpha or beta is. Jacksonville, a lot of things been changed. The Giants never quite live up to what you think. Cleveland, another one. Pittsburgh, sadness. Atlanta, Strake London, and who? Chicago, Tennessee, KC. A lot of those teams made changes in the offseason. I think they're not fooled and understand the metrics and what that's saying. But there was, though, a lot of those teams had some down years in 2023. So there is, let's see, what else did I do? I forgot what I did. I think I'll stop here and just have this little block of data. No, well, looks like wow, that's a lot of data to go over. I think I'll say stop here and actually come back. So let's call this 2A. That's what we'll call it, 2A. And I'll get 2B here, will be the player level there, and I'll send this up. Okay, Dr. Bush, for the process, for the science of fantasy football, think about the landscape.